All right, Lindsay, thank you. Well, as far as the 49ers go, these are not your father's Niners. These are not your Niners. These are not your son's Niners. These are your grandson's Niners, but not totally. Navarro Bowman is back after the last time we saw him was the title game in 2013, middle linebacker supreme.
My opinion, the best inside linebacker in all of football, especially when he's healthy. Vikings are excited to have Peterson back. The Niners are equally excited to have Bowman back.
Well, Navarro Bowman, he'll be calling the signals in there for Jim Tom Sula's 49ers. Coach Tom Sula, as he was an interim coach, one game in 2010, but he was on the staff with Harbaugh and Mike Singletary and Mike Nolan before that, but now this is his squad. And he will go up against Mike Zimmer's Vikings. 7-9 last year in year one without Adrian Peterson. Zimmer's team much improved on defense. Teddy Bridgewater year two at quarterback, and they are thinking postseason. We are ready to rumble here at the Big Bell Bottom. Hackett, he will just receive it for the touchback. So Colin Kaepernick, an off year for him, but everybody talks like the sky is falling. 25-14 as the starter. He said we were only 8-8 last year. It sounded like we were 3-13, but he's got a lot to prove. He's got a lot on his mind, and he's got a new season to look forward to. Carlos Hyde is the running back, the all-time rushing leader in the history of the 49ers. Frank Gore is obviously gone, member of the Colts. This is Hyde. Good first run to the left side, where the veterans Staley and Boone are on the left side of the line. Skill players for the Niners. Bruce Miller is your blocking fullback. Speed and Torrey Smith on the outside. Anquan Bolden, great possession receiver. Vernon Davis is your tight end. Reggie Bush, we're going to see a lot of him with the Niners. We told you Staley and Boone on the left. Marcus Martin is at center. Devy and Pierce, two new players here for the Niners on the right side. Again, they'll keep it on the ground, and they will go left. It's Hyde for a first down and much more.
Boom, we've seen the Niners open up in 13 personnel. That's one back, Carlos Hyde, and three tight ends. It's balanced out the Vikings front, giving them seams on the left side of the defense. Great advantage for the 49ers in this run game. Carlos Hyde's a back. Everybody's excited to see be the bell cow this year. You see him right there, how violent he is at the finish of runs.
So first down, the fake to Hyde. Kaepernick will roll it, and it's complete to number 82, Torrey Smith. You know him from the Baltimore Ravens. He can take the top off, but right now he picked up 11 yards and another Niner first down near the midfield stripe.
Two things you saw there, Boone. Number one, changing the launch point for Colin Kaepernick, getting him on the perimeter of the defense, and then that touch throw over the first layer of the defense to get it to Torrey Smith. Nice start for the 49ers offense. Look how fast they're playing, too.
And look at the interesting stack at the bottom of your screen. Reggie Bush is in 23. Looks like he's changed the play a couple of times. He gives it to Bush, and he shakes one tackle. And look at Reggie Bush. Running like the Reggie Bush we remember, he can bring excitement at any time, Trent.
This is why Reggie Bush is a Niner right now. They wanted some suddenness in the backfield. You get that zone read look. Minnesota did a great job penetrating, but Reggie Bush's instincts and speed get him the perimeter. Turn should have been a 2-3 yard loss into an 8-yard gain.
2nd and 2, San Francisco at the 44. Hyde back in. Behind Kaepernick. And this is the give to Hyde. And boy, he is bursting right up the middle for an easy first down and more. Another 8-yard pickup. So the Vikings defense either were not prepared for this stout running game, or the Niners just were firing off the line.
They knew it was coming, Boom. We talked to Zim a lot about this, Coach Zimmer for the Vikings. What you're seeing is the Niners playing faster than expected. Multiple personnel groupings, multiple formations have the Vikings defense out of balance.
Those three tight ends, again, the run is left. Hyde evades one tackle, and is knocked down by Anthony Barr, the second-year linebacker for UCLA. Vikings defense tonight, much improved in every category. Sharif Floyd, former #1 draft pick, Linval Joseph in the middle, Everson Griffin, Brian Robeson are your defensive ends. Gerald Hodges starts in the middle, Anthony Barr, really good-looking linebacker, and the veteran, one of the best, Chad Greenway. Harrison Smith, your free safety, Anderson Dale, the strong safety. Terrence Newman, 37 years young, is at one corner. He's been with Mike Newman forever, along with the youngster, Xavier Rhodes. Bush to the left of Kaepernick. Following the throw. And it's knocked down, but there's going to be a flag on Xavier Rhodes. First round pick of the Vikings back in 2013. And he was reaching over the back of Anquan Bolden, so all these plays just about 8 yards or more.
Holding defense, number 29. That's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
The familiar voice and face of Ed Hockley.
Anquan Bolden, I call him the ultimate chain mover point scorer, and you see a lot of this against Anquan Bolden. He is so physical. He's so confident with his route running that corners can't help past that 5-yard area to get their hands on him because they know what they're in store for all night long.
Bush, the lone setback. The fake is to him. Kaepernick across the middle. And the Niners in business once more. That's Vance McDonald, or is it Garrett Selleck? For 15 yards. So the three tight ends seem to have the Vikings befuddled as San Francisco's down to the 13.
And this is Jeep Chris, new offensive coordinator's vision for this offense. Multiple tight end sets. We have yet to see a play where they haven't had at least 2 tight ends on the field. Change the launch point. Get the ball to these crossing routes and let them run after the catch.
Give us to Hyde. Inside the 5, there's a flag in the backfield. It's a 10-yard game, but let's wait.
Holding offense, number 66. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
It's Marcus Martin, the center, who became a starter about midway through last year.
Such a good drive. These red zone penalties really make it hard to finish off drives. They're running the ball at will. They're moving the launch point, getting Kaepernick out. They go a nice little stretch zone here. And anytime those hands get outside the cylinder of defensive lineman, you see that grabbing, that call is going to be made in the interior of the offensive line.
Bush to the right of Kaepernick. He looked over there for a sec. Now he'll run. No, he won't. Yes, he will. Dives to about the 16. Kaepernick, who once in a playoff game ran for 181 against the Packers, the highest total regular or postseason, we know his stride.
And obviously, everybody in this building understands how dangerous Colin Kaepernick is a runner, but watch how more patient he is here. He gave it 2 hitches with his left hip downfield in that passing posture. Nothing was open. Now he takes advantage of that those high RPMs. He has that horsepower and gets down and gets some yards.
Sharif Floyd, big man, is down. We'll check on him when we return. Monday Night Football brought to you by GMC. We are professional grade. And NFLshop.com. Find the largest selection of NFL products at the official store of the NFL. Chris Berman, Trent Dilfer, Lindsey Zarniak here at Levi's Stadium. The Niners have taken the opening kick, driven deep, stopped a little bit by a penalty, and now it's second on the 9th play of the drive. Second and a long 12. Just inside the 16. Kaepernick. Incomplete to the end zone for Vernon Davis. Those two hooked up for 2 touchdowns last year in week number 1. They didn't have any after that. Prediction?
Well, talking to both these guys before this game, they want to put 2014 in the rearview mirror. They're thinking about 13, where they had a great connection. They are forward-facing in their thinking. They've had a great camp together right there. Harrison Smith, nice coverage. If you're going to miss and you're calling Kaepernick, and if it's low and outside, don't turn the ball over.
3rd and 12. Vikings jumped. So that's an easy way to pick up 5 to make it 3rd and 7.
Defense, number 97. 5-yard penalty. It's 3rd down.
Everson Griffin.
And boom, very interesting. You see Everson Griffin jump off sides here. The Niners did not create a lot of these pre-snap penalties for the defense. They had more themselves last year. Jim Tomasula, head coach of the 49ers, told me day one of the offseason, the first snap count for the 49ers was a hard count because they wanted to turn the line of scrimmage mechanics in their favor instead of it being a Achilles heel for them like it was last year. They led the league with 25 delay of games, tons of false starts. They want to start taking advantage of the defense getting itchy to get across that line of scrimmage.
First 3rd down for them on this long drive that started the game. Kaepernick. Over the head and out of bounds for Reggie Bush. So in the end, a really nice drive will end up in a field goal attempt from Phil Dawson. A 10-yard penalty really put the parking brake on, didn't it, Trent?
Well, you look at all the football yesterday. What was it defined by? Poor special teams, penalties, missed tackles, drop passes, bad offensive line play. And you saw right there a great drive. Niners having their way with the Vikings offensively, and it takes one play of a lack of discipline by an offensive lineman and puts you in a tough situation to score.
40 years young Phil Dawson blocked. And the Niners are in big trouble. Can they catch him? Wow. Andrew Sendejo with the block, the starting safety. And then Sherrill's 45-yard return. And just like that, all Niners and now the Vikings in business in San Francisco territory.
Boom, I was just mentioning the first week of football defined by poor special teams. Amazing. Sendejo gets through a seam that you should never get through, scoop, and you're off to the races. Minnesota Vikings, great hustle by Vance McDonald, not giving up on the play and knocking him out of bounds, at least giving him a chance to hold the Vikings to possibly 3.
So now, Adrian Peterson, the Vikings. Quarterback Teddy Bridgewater on the field for the first time. Bridgewater fakes to AP and fires way out of bounds, incomplete. So Teddy Bridgewater, 6-6 as a starter last year. Came out in week 4 when Matt Castles injured his foot, missed the game, and then Bridgewater took him down the stretch, improving every month. Trent, as you will point out, really accurate passer, although not particularly on that play. We saw 3 tight ends for the Niners, the Vikings going 4 wideouts. Bridgewater floats. And a nice play made by the Niners. Tremaine Brock, hurt most of last year, knocking the ball away from Charles Johnson.
The Vikings get exactly what they want. They get a real route by Charles Johnson. It's everything they're looking for, but Tremaine Brock makes a nice play on the ball, seeing the hands of Charles Johnson go for the ball, attacks the hands without making contact before the ball gets there. Fine play by Tremaine Brock.
So 3rd and 10 now. Peterson lined up to the right of Bridgewater. Floated, and just as soon as we say he's accurate, 0 for 3 on this found drive from the Vikings. Trent?
Really nice job by the San Francisco 49ers defense. Create conflict in the pocket from the get-go, but downfield, look at the rerouting going on early on. Makes it a difficult throw for Teddy Bridgewater, but that is one that you expect Teddy to make. Get it out to the boundary, allow the receiver to run to it, just misses him high.
The Vikings blocked one. Can they make one? Blair Walsh, great rookie year, but year 3 last year he struggled. A 44-yard attempt. Jeff Locke to hold. His struggles continue. So neither team can make a field goal. And what a start to this game. We're 6 minutes in, and we are scoreless here at the Big Bell Bottom. Walsh is right. The Niners will have the ball for the second time when we come back. Welcome back to Monday Night Football here in the Bay Area. Second drive for the 49ers. First was very impressive, but when Sendejo blocked the field goal attempt by Dawson, they got nothing. So they start again here at the 34. Kaepernick rolls, fires. Good coverage, double coverage on that play. And so the Niners looking long to Vernon Davis, the tight end, not to Torrey Smith, who can take the lid off. Incomplete.
I love the play call, though. Again, 49ers come out. 3 tight ends, heavy set. They've been gashing with the run. You go hard action, change the launch point, and get Vernon Davis, who in 2013 was one of the great vertical threats in the National Football League. Let's take a shot on first down and see if we can flip the field.
Sendejo and corner Xavier Rhodes on the coverage. 2nd and 10, San Francisco. Quick swing to Bruce Ellington. Picks up a few. Xavier Rhodes knocks him out. About a 4-yard pickup.
Ellington's a guy the Niners are really excited about. Has some twitch to him, but he has natural strength as well. They want to get him the ball in open space, allow him to run with the ball after the catch. That's a really nice second down call. Now you got a chance on 3rd and manageable.
4th round pick a year ago, played for the old ball coach, Steve Spurrier at South Carolina. 3rd and 6, San Francisco. Kaepernick steps up. Evades one, picks up the first down, and pays for it. A big hit by safety Harrison Smith. But that stride of Kaepernick allowed him to evade the tackle at the line of scrimmage. Wow.
Oh my. You do not see this very often in the NFL. One, Kaepernick does a great job getting the first down, but watch this collision on the sideline right there. Holy Toledo. That shows the physicality of Colin Kaepernick. 99% of QBs are staying down after that lick. Colin Kaepernick bounced up, back taking the next snap.
First down, San Francisco, their own 45. Spinning to the midfield stripe is Hyde. And they think of big things coming from him this year. Grant, the 2nd round pick a year ago from Ohio State.
Very excited about Carlos Hyde. A guy that fits so naturally in this system, the zone run game, a lot what he did at Ohio State. He's had a great camp.
Kaepernick will keep it himself. Spilled after about a 3-yard pickup. Bruce Miller with the block, and that's what he can do as well as anybody, the fullback, number 49.
Well, and there's your zone read. Everybody's been waiting to see. Is Jeep Chris, the new offensive coordinator, going to let the Ferrari run like a Ferrari or make him a Prius like he was last year at the 49ers? Let him run that zone read.
Prius.
Give him a chance to be on the edge and attack the defense. Now you got a 3rd and 1.
4 wides on a 3rd and 1. Interesting. Reggie Bush in the backfield with Kaepernick. And that just didn't quite look smooth enough. You want to go on about the length of the ball here? We just got the answer, didn't we?
Well, it looked like the Niners had this play blocked up inside. Boone does a nice job. Reggie dances a little bit there. That's where you might want the bigger back, and Carlos Hyde could hammer up through that crease and get you the first down. I thought that was a well-blocked play by the Niners. That's more a case of Reggie Bush tiptoeing in the hole a little bit.
And unfortunately, you mentioned toe or foot or knee. He's to the sidelines. So with the injury. They get a little bit of a break with the play clock. Here we go. 4th and very short. Just shy of the Minnesota 45. All sorts of motion. Who moved first? Niners say it's Minnesota. Minnesota say it's the Niners. I love when everyone tries to help the officials.
Again, Boom, that hard count we talked about. The Niners trying to take advantage of it. They got some movement on the defensive front. That shift with the motion, typically defensive linemen, when they see that second motion coming, try to time up the motion, get across the line of scrimmage.
The defensive player never got into the neutral zone. Therefore, it was a false start. Offense number 77. 5-yard penalty. It's 4th down.
Well, and so here was a first promising drive that a penalty helped aid stall, and then a blocked field goal, and now the Niners on 4th and 5 will punt.
I think that's a good call, though, by the referees, but like what the Niners were trying to do. The Niners are trying to take advantage of that 4th and 1 situation. This 5-yard penalty does not affect their punter whatsoever. In fact, it may help them. This punter has a massive leg, as we will see.
Well, this is the first NFL regular season punt for the rookie Bradley Pinion, the only punter in last year's draft to be picked in the 7 rounds. He went in the 5th round from Clemson. And a fair catch is called for by Marcus Sherrills. A 40-yard punt, no return to about the 11. And so maybe we'll see Adrian Peterson carry the ball.
I would hope so, Boom.
Deep in their own territory. We'll be back. Baseball getting down to the nitty-gritty. Certainly in the AL West, the Texas rivalry. The Houston Astros, storybook season. Texas Rangers, Tuesday at 8 Eastern on ESPN. And here's what you came for. Adrian Peterson, a 4-yard pickup, his first carry since week 1 of last season. So a 4-yard gain at 2nd and 6. 3 wides Vikings. Peterson to the right of Teddy Bridgewater, the second-year quarterback from Louisville. Peterson dancing. Niners have him wrapped up. Michael Wilhoit, among others, to wrap him up. Lindsey Zarniak, hello again.
Hey there, Boom. An update real quick on Reggie Bush as you saw him walking gingerly off the field. He's still here on the sideline right now standing. There were several people that were both working on him and they are talking to him right now, but we will update you further. Still waiting an official announcement from the team.
3rd and 5, Vikings. Crowd exhorting the Niners defense, the young Niners defense. Oh, right up the middle, Bridgewater has no shot. They call him down. It was Jaquiski Tart, a good-looking second-round pick rookie from Samford. Right up the middle, and a sack. And so now the Vikings will punt from the shadow of their goalpost.
And defensive coordinator Eric Mangini, league-wide, is known for being able to break down protections as well as any defensive coordinator and get free runners on the quarterback. That was a scheme pressure right there. Eric Mangini dialing it up to get the free runner early on 3rd down.
And the roar you hear as Jeff Locke's punt is coming. One of the great stories of the preseason, Jared Hayne, rugby player for the Niners, diving and catching and fumbling. Oh, here's a story we got to tell you. That punt was shorter than he anticipated. When you play rugby, this is what you do. You catch the ball. And one of the great stories of the preseason, he made a big mark. And his first touch in the NFL is a fumble.
This is a crazy game because if you go all through training camp, Jared Hayne, the thing that everybody said about him because of his rugby background, is so comfortable catching the punts, whether it's open space, people around him, but that ball ate him up. There's a little wind in the stadium tonight. but that's an unexcusable mistake for the rookie, Jared Hayne.
Linebacker Audie Cole on the recovery for the Vikings, who now get a break and they're out past their 40. 7 yards deep is Peterson, but he's faked two, and Bridgewater evades 2 Niners, and now firing, and it is complete to Mike Wallace, the one-time Steeler and Dolphin, for a 19-yard pickup. Niners thought they had him wrapped.
Watch how cool Teddy Bridgewater is on this play. Hard action fake, comes back, number 1 isn't there, 2 runners on him. The nice little spin out, and then he's not a runner the entire time he gets the edge, and he threatens down on the defense. His eyes downfield as a passer, and then layers that ball in for the nice completion.
First down, Minnesota. They're at the 38 now. Bridgewater floats way over the head of Kyle Rudolph, the tight end.
This is very unlike Teddy Bridgewater, but there's Reggie Bush right there. Obviously disappointed. Such high expectations coming this year, both for Reggie and the rest of this offense.
Lindsay?
Hey guys, you saw him get carted off as they brought it up and then carried him back out. They said it's a left leg, obviously questionable return right now for Reggie Bush.
2nd and 10, Minnesota, the 49ers 38. Adrian Peterson. They're ready for him. Maybe 2 yards, 2 tough yards for Adrian Peterson. Navarro Bowman. Welcome back, Adrian. Welcome back, Navarro Bowman on the tackle. 2 of the very best at their craft, Trent, as we talked about tonight.
If you were at home, it would be a great visual to just have Adrian Peterson and Navarro Bowman one-on-one matchup all night long. That is going to be a slobber knocker.
3rd and 8 from the 36. Peterson, 3 carries, 7 yards. Bridgewater will take it himself and sliding short of the first down, but perhaps in the range, perhaps.
Again, nice job by the 49ers secondary. A lot of question marks there, especially on the edges. But watch them get back. Safety's in great position, take care of that seam. Linebackers dropping deep. Teddy makes the right decision, climbing up in the pocket, trying to be a passer, and then getting up there and get as many yards as possible.
Now there is a wind coming this direction, which maybe altered Blair Walsh's kick and certainly altered the opinion of Mike Zimmer. That's why they're going for it on what would be a 49-yard field goal attempt. 4th down, Bridgewater looking, flaring to Rudolph. The Niners stack him up what looks to be short. Antoine Bethea among those in on the stop, and the Niners have held on 4th down.
And Antoine Bethea makes a great play here on the edge. Teddy Bridgewater gets the ball out, buys some time, 4th down, getting to the edge, finds Kyle Rudolph, but Antoine Bethea laying the wood in front of the first down marker. Wow.
Back here in the Bay Area. Scoreless game, but don't think there hasn't been a lot of action. Minute to go, first quarter, Niners and Vikings. San Francisco taking over. And Minnesota's defense taking over on that play, as Hyde stacked by a couple of Vikings. So let's see, as the first quarter winding, we get another play to come. Let's see, Trent, we've had a blocked field goal, a missed field goal, a fumbled punt, a missed 4th down, and a punt.
Sounds like week 1, Boom.
I was just leading you to that. 2nd and 10, 49. Flags. Fire out to Ellington, and that will get maybe a couple. Maybe.
I think we had a legal motion by the San Francisco 49ers.
Anthony Barr there on the coverage anyway, in the tackle. And Hockley and crew.
Illegal formation offense. Number 10 was not up on the line of scrimmage. The penalty is declined. Brings up 2nd down.
Should be third
Well, it should
down.
be third down,
Yeah.
right?
There we go, Eddie.
All right, good. We're all in week 1 mode. 3rd and 9. Clock ticking down at the end of the intriguing first quarter.
Vikings in their typical double A-gap presence. You get that wide front, now they back out of it.
Flag again. Kaepernick dumped. No play. So we will have 2 seconds left and another play in the first quarter.
False start on the center, number 66. Never set. Just went down, snapped the ball immediately. That is a 5-yard penalty.
This
It's still third down.
Early training camp stuff, right?
And boom, I'm telling you what, this will be a theme throughout the game on 3rd and long. See this double A-gap pressure, those 2 linebackers walking in there, then they back up. This is a headache for offensive lines, backs, quarterbacks. It's a great scheme that Zimmer invented years ago that's been copied by everybody else in the league, and it creates havoc on the offensive fronts in 3rd and long.
All right, so after all it was exciting, but a bunch of miscues, why don't we reboot for the second quarter? How's that?
I like it, boom.
No score, San Francisco and Minnesota here on Monday Night Football. We'll be back. Chris Berman, Trent Dilfer, Lindsey Zarniak, our other Monday night crew here in Santa Clara. Levi's Stadium, the home of Super Bowl 50 and the home of the final game, week 1 in the season. No score, 49ers, Vikings. 3rd and 14, San Francisco. Colin Kaepernick. Pocket collapsing. Pass overthrown. Intended for Quentin Patton. And so here comes a punt. And the second punt for the rookie Bradley Pinion. Like we said, 5th round pick last year, Clemson. Their longtime outstanding punter, Andy Lee, traded in the offseason to Cleveland. Pinion, the only punter drafted in last April's /May's draft in Chicago. Marcus Sherrills, 35, who was blocked field goal, 40-plus yards. Good punt, Pinion. Sherrills at the 23. A nice return. You get plus 10 on any punt. And that's almost as good as a home run ball, but then no return. Do you agree?
Yes, and that's the first nice special teams play we've seen, and it's a shame. I mean, you're talking about the San Francisco 49ers starts on fire, and then they get down there, kick a field goal. Unexcusable inside pressure. Vance McDonald, the wing, has to have a stronger left arm than Jared Hank, a guy that hasn't even come close to dropping a punt in training camp. Unexcusably drops one there, turns in what's going to be great field position for the Niners and gives field position to the Vikings. Rough start for the San Francisco 49ers special teams.
1st and 10, Teddy Bridgewater and the Vikings at the 32. Little dump off from Bridgewater to Rhett Ellison, the son of longtime 49er, winner of 2 Super Bowl rings, Ricky Ellison.
And 2 things to see on this one, boom. Number 1, Navarro Bowman, one of the best blitzing linebackers in football. Fires his gun, gets to Teddy, but Teddy, having the presence instead of waiting too long downfield, knows where his outlet receiver is. Rhett Ellison gets him the ball, turns in what could have been a 6-7 yard sack into a 4-yard gain.
Now Peterson lined up the classic 7 yards deep. And that's a little more Adrian Peterson. Pickup of 7, Navarro Bowman. When Peterson goes up the middle, you're going to find Bowman.
And these are the type of runs that can get Adrian Peterson going. We got a little ghost action. That's receiver at the top. But watch the contact acceleration right there. Adrian Peterson gets the nice seam, has a defender in the hole. Navarro Bowman will watch him. He accelerates into contact. He's not just rolling the pads. He's trying to finish off every run. For Adrian Peterson, that's the type of run that can get him going.
He runs in attack mode, and when he's 7 yards deep, as you point out, that's exactly what you get. 1st down, Minnesota at the 42. Movement, flags, no play. And Brooks.
False start offense, number 85. 5-yard penalty. It's first down.
Ahmad Brooks, linebacker, realized it, jumped over there and got the penalty. So Mike Zimmer and the Vikings now at 1st and 15.
And it's such a challenge week one. I'm sure everybody watched a ton of football on Sunday. They watched the earlier game Monday, and this entire first week has been defined by mental mistakes, special teams, penalties, like I said, missed tackles. And it's because these guys wait so long to get out there, especially under the bright lights. They are so juiced up, they start making uncharacteristic mistakes.
Pass underneath to Adrian Peterson. Carries the entire Niner team for 8 more yards after first contact. 17-yard pickup, and expect to see Peterson and Norv Turner's offense catch more balls, Trent, than we've seen him catch in the last, well, obviously not last year, but even the years before.
See those two guys? Boom. Yep. Terrible circles, but watch. One guy comes, but the other guy drops deep. Teddy Bridgewater immediately, when he sees that retreating defense, one guy comes, the other guy retreats. He knows exactly where the outlet is. Adrian Peterson, big yards after the catch, just a nice decision.
First down, Minnesota, San Francisco territory. Bridgewater going deep. Oh, and it's off the hands of Mike Wallace. Mike Wallace, Minnesota. Torrey Smith, San Francisco. Two guys that just can go long.
Both guys electric. I love the play call by Norv Turner, taking a shot here after getting a first down. Nice job by Mike Wallace. An absolute dime by Teddy, and I think Antoine Bethea got away with a little bit right there. You saw him slap down the hands right there. I am shocked that wasn't called. As sensitive as this league is to pass interference, I'm shocked that wasn't called.
Second down, Vikings. The little flare to Peterson. This time the Niners have him hemmed in. Kenneth Acker, young starting cornerback, number 20, hurt last year, made the play.
Let's go back to the last play where they take the shot. Mike Wallace wins. Teddy Bridgewater drops the dime. Antoine Bethea, that is clear pass interference. He is knocking down Mike Wallace's left arm. That must be called.
He was giving him the business.
Giving him the business, Boom.
The Vikings, 3rd and 8. Bridgewater escapes, but can't escape his own man, who helps with the sack.
Aaron Lynch, this is a player America needs to know about. Second-year player, absolute relentless motor, big, long guy. You see it right there, creating havoc in the backfield, allowing his teammates to come in there and clean it up. But Aaron Lynch can be an absolute dominant edge pass rusher in this league.
Third-year punter for the Vikings is Jeff Locke. He, like Pinion, a drafted punter in the 5th round in 2013. That's a low squibber. And it's
shocking, another special teams mistake.
Now that's with the wind. That was with what's a formidable wind of 15 miles an hour or so. No score, we think. ESPN's Monday Night Football brought to you by Nissan, innovation that excites. Navy Federal, serving the armed forces and their families. And Furious 7, one crew, one last ride, on Blu-ray and DVD, September the 15th. No score, Niners, Vikings, Levi's Stadium. Second quarter, early stages. 1st and 10, San Francisco at their own 23. Colin Kaepernick, they give to Hyde, Miller a block. That's a good-looking play as Hyde rolls to a first down and then some.
Did I hear you say Miller block? Boom, watch this. Bruce Miller, ex-defensive lineman, turn fullback, chopping down the defender, giving Carlos Hyde the edge. Big run on first down, gets some momentum back in this offense.
12-yard pickup.
Oh, look at that.
Yep. First drive looked like this until it got stalled by a penalty and a blocked field goal. High to the left again. And that's bread and butter, but a flag comes in. Joe Staley, the all-pro left tackle. That's bread and butter when you run to his side, Trent.
It really is. They gashed him on the first drive going to the left behind Joe Staley right there. Looks like they have some movement, but it probably was assisted by a hold.
Holding. Offense, number 74. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
And as soon as we give Joe some love, it's a hold. That's the way we've gone, isn't it?
Maybe we should call the game and not use names, and then they won't get in trouble.
Well, tonight's coverage brought to you from Spider Cam is brought to you by DirecTV. Can we use that name?
Yes.
Spider Cam. There's some spiders in the ointment here. 4 penalties, San Francisco here, early stages, second quarter. The Vikings have that one snuffed up, and that's Jared Hayne, the 9-year All-Star Player of the Year from the National Rugby League. He saw him fumble a punt, but he was the talk of the town in August. 4 months ago, he started playing football, something he wanted to do.
First time he was in pads, Boom, was 5 weeks ago. The first time he ever put on shoulder pads.
Kaepernick, the throw, fumbled, drop, Vernon Davis. So back to Jared Hayne. You wonder, well, what team did he play for? Well, you remember the Parramatta Eels, don't you?
Absolutely.
He played from 2006 to 14, not Australian rules football with the rep with the hat. This is real rugby, 2-time Player of the Year, one of the great world-class athletes. Usain Bolt asked him to train with him, and he gave up $2 million, $3 million. There are about 15 members of the Australian media covering this here. This is a huge deal for the land down under. There's Hayne. Look at the move. Look at the toughness.
And this is what's so frustrating for an offensive coordinator, especially a new one, Jeep Christ. He comes out, he has a vision for how this offense is going to look. They are moving down the field early. Special teams gets them in trouble. They are moving the ball well on this drive. A penalty gets them in place. Now you're forced into a 3rd and impossible where you're throwing a swing route to a guy that put shoulder pads on for the first time 5 weeks ago, and it's so hard to maintain your rhythm when you're making penalties and special team blunders early in game.
The punt, and a beautiful high punt by Pinion. Ooh! That was a rack and pinion hit by L.J. McCray. 49-yard punt and nada.
You talked about the wind, Boom. Bradley Pinion booming back-to-back into the wind, and then McCray finishing it off, timing it up perfect. It may be sloppy, but we're seeing some wood laid early on.
Chris Berman, Trent Dilfer, Lindsey Zarniak, our Monday night crew in Santa Clara. No score between the Vikings and the San Francisco 49ers. Minnesota now takes over in their own territory. At the 18, Jerick McKinnon now in the backfield. Looked good when he played last year, averaged almost 5 yards a carry. Navarro Bowman. Have we called his name enough? You're wondering how he would do coming back from a year off?
And Jim Tomasula, Eric Mangini talked about this. The stretch run game, staying square as a linebacker. Navarro Bowman stays square early on, trusts his speed, goes laterally, fires his trigger, and makes the tackle right there. Navarro Bowman, not just a great athlete, great discipline on that run stop.
Second down, Minnesota. This is McKinnon again up the middle. First down and then some past the 35. 15-yard pickup. Eric Reed, the free safety, had to make the tackle.
Exactly what the Minnesota Vikings needed right there. Get a first down in the run game on second down, create a crease in the middle of that Niners defense, which has been so stout early on. And now, knowing Norv Turner as well as I know him, I bet you he's looking to get Teddy a nice, easy completion here to get him in rhythm.
The pitch throw to McKinnon. And that's a good, sharp tackle by Ahmad Brooks. So last year, without Adrian Peterson, except for the one game, McKinnon averaged 4.8 yards a carry. Asiata was interesting, had 3 games with 3 touchdowns. And there's Bridgewater running, and Patterson, of course, the speedy return man / wide receiver. They made do without Adrian Peterson, but with big number 28 getting a breather on this series. Bridgewater, swing to McKinnon, and the Niners are wise on that one. There's Aaron Lynch, who you talked about, the 5th-round pick a year ago from South Florida for a 2-yard loss.
Aaron Lynch, a versatile player. He is big and long, has natural pass rush skills, but now you see him dropping in coverage, making a nice open field tackle. The best part of that is he's zone dropping. His eyes are looking at Teddy Bridgewater. So when that ball comes out, he can go now into the flat and make the tackle. Nice disciplined play by Aaron Lynch.
3rd and 11 from the 36. Bridgewater. Underneath, dropped by normally sure-handed Kyle Rudolph. So, but that was Red Ellison, my mistake.
And the
so
hits
we've
keep
seen
coming.
it all. Yeah, I mean,
I talked about this earlier. I mean, these are remedial plays that are being botched by both teams. Red Ellison, excited he's open in the middle of the field, takes his eyes off the football, trying to run before he secured the catch. It's become a comedy of errors so far early in this game for both teams.
Jared Haynes fumbled his first one. This is Jeff Locke's punt. Haynes grabs it. And a flag way back in the area of the punt. 50-yard punt, a 10-yard return. And they're going over to Mike Zimmer on that side. You want to refuse the penalty? It's a pretty good punt and not a big return.
Running into the kicker by the defense, number 11. It's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat 4th down.
Oh. So you're gonna take it. Huh? You're gonna hope for what? Just a bomb?
Yeah, and this is an interesting call by Coach Zimmer,
Yeah,
because
that's what I'm
typically
asking.
the coverage teams expend more energy on a kicking play. So to come back right away and have to punt it again, even though they're gaining the yards, those coverage teams are worn out. I think the advantage here goes to the San Francisco 49ers in the return game.
So now it's Bruce Ellington, not Hayne, to return. Yeah, he's punting with the wind. He did kick it 50 yards, Trent.
Yeah, but just 2 punts ago, he tried the coffin corner and ended up on the 30.
He ended up in the coffin.
It's low.
Ellington, there's a flag. Ellington with a boatload of speed. This may come back, but for the moment, he does go all the way. 85 yards if it stands, but I don't think so.
It's
had
not
to be the block right away,
it's not
right?
going to stand, Boom, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. I don't even know if the penalty affected the return, but that was a low kick, gave the returner time to see it, and the coverage teams, because they had just covered a punt, were more tired going downfield.
They get a huge break, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get it when he made the call. None of us did. But he's going to look like a genius, right? Because they're going to be way back
There were
in there.
2 fouls by the receiving team on the play.
2.
Both illegal blocks in the back. One was number 50, that's declined. The other is number 26. That's enforced from where the kick was caught. Half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
So in the end, the 2 flags, well, if you're going to make an illegal block, might as well make 2 of them.
Absolutely. And take it to the house if you're going to make them.
Tremaine Brock is the one that gets flagged. Ellington had this place in a lather for a moment. Jim Tomsula, head coach, San Francisco. Defensive lineman, Catawba College, Salisbury, North Carolina. An assistant. And then at Catawba, defensive line coach. This is a wonderful journey that included head coach of the Rhine Fire in the Europe League. Defensive line coach, Mike Nolan, Mike Singletary, Jim Harbaugh. And then here's Jim Tomsula, Pittsburgh native, 47 years of age. Very likable. Players like him. Colin Kaepernick, first down, a short hitch. Jim Tomsula, if you don't like this, you don't like people. Here he is tonight. Look, huh? Come on, man. Way to go, guys. What do you mean?
An 8-yard gain. 2nd and 2 at the 15-yard line.
Well, that mustache is going to catch on fire with the Niners having a blocked field goal, 6 penalties for 43 yards, and dropping a punt.
Give to high. Knocked out of bounds.
Jimmy T, as the players call Jim Tomsula, has stressed over and over and over. He only has one rule: do right. And that transcends the football field. He has preached no penalties. He has preached disciplined special teams. And this team has gone out here tonight and done exactly the opposite of what they wanted to do opening night.
First down, San Francisco. High, churning up the middle. Behind the center, Marcus Martin and company on the inside. Everson Griffin with the tackle after an 8-yard pickup.
Yeah, I love these gun runs, especially these pistol runs. Kaepernick's comfortable with them, and Carlos Hyde sees the hole. He's a patient runner. This is what he did at Ohio State. You see him get the ball deep in the backfield, eyes downfield, and you see that immediate acceleration from 7 yards deep. So if there's any seam in the defense, he's going to get to it in a hurry.
2nd and 2. High. Running hard. Over the 35 for a first down. Gerald Hodges on the tackle, pickup of 10.
And again, early in the game, they exposed the left side. Now they're running right, but same thing, one cut and go. See the lateral move by Carlos Hyde, puts his right foot in the ground, and then acceleration to the seam, right there. That one step, seeing the inside crease in the stretch zone and hitting it. Beautiful job by the offensive line and Carlos Hyde.
This is Dean. Picks up a couple. Hyde, by the way, 10 carries for 65. Just to continue on Jim Tomsula, you talk about someone, and there it is, waltzing Matilda, and the land down under. He's sold medical equipment, delivered paper, was a night janitor, firewood cutter, and my favorite, a doormat salesman. I mean, this is someone who loved football and just tried to keep himself afloat to get his chance. And now he's head coach of the San Francisco 49ers. And quarterback Colin Kaepernick. Over the midfield stripe for another, and a late hit. So this will go as a big game, 12 plus. They're going to flag Chad Greenway, I believe. Now they're going to discuss it, Trent.
There was no foul on
There
the
you
play.
go.
The quarterback slid head first, not feet first.
Yeah, that's
First down.
That is a nice job by the crew
Yep.
identifying this. Colin Kaepernick right there. That's not a slide.
Right.
And Chad Greenway has every opportunity to do that. Now, Colin Kaepernick, I do like this. He's a passer, and you can't turn down those type of yards as long as you're starting off in that passing posture.
Little bootleg escapes one, fires, wide open, and the Niners in business with Garrett Selleck.
This is the 4th time in this game Jeep Chris, offensive coordinators, changed the launch point for Colin Kaepernick. I talked about letting the Ferrari be a Ferrari. Don't make it be a Prius. That is straight athleticism, instincts, making that free runner miss, and then having the presence to pump fake and get the ball to open receiver.
Selleck, the younger brother of Brett Selleck, the tight end of the Philadelphia Eagles. Fake, fire. The Vikings are right there after a short pickup. as Anquan Bolden corrals it on a gain of 4.
If you're in this huddle right now, the message has to be finish. And this is what's happening in the NFL these days. Everybody is so enamored with yards and fantasy stats. We judge offenses by their productivity in the middle. It's about finishing. The Niners have to finish this drive for them to get to where they want to go. Finish is the theme.
2-minute warning here in Santa Clara. Counter Trey Wingo and Jaws in the studio for halftime. Highlights of the first game. 2-point win Atlanta over Philadelphia. Tez Bryant update. Injured last night for the Cowboys. Cam Chancellor update with the Seahawks. Holding out on our Toyota halftime. Coming up, our second Toyota halftime. Doubleheader night. Who will score first? Will we get one before the end of the half? Started promisingly, if that's a word. The 49ers rolled to a first drive, but they stalled at a field goal block, and we've been at 0-0 ever since. 2-minute drill, San Francisco. Colin Kaepernick. Vernon Davis. And he will pick up a first down. Andrew Sendejo.
Love the play called by Jeep Chris. Nice little mesh concept, getting Vernon Davis to come underneath the drops of the linebackers. Vernon Davis, ball in his hands, has such great speed and strength as a guy that's going to do some damage after he's caught the ball.
First and 10 Niners at the Vikings 17. Oh, that's a strong run. Strong inside the 10.
Niners offensive line has done a great job with movement and incorporating these big guys. You have 2 tight ends. You got Bruce Miller in there playing fullback. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Vance McDonald in the backfield playing fullback. Getting a lot of big bodies, getting pushed, creating small seams for Carlos Hyde to get through.
Spin by Hyde. Kaepernick leads the way. Touchdown 49ers. Nothing doing right. Let's try left. San Francisco on the board.
Carlos Hyde, little penetration, boom, and then the spin move. We've seen power. We've seen acceleration by Carlos Hyde. Welcome NFL to Carlos Hyde, the bell cow back for the San Francisco 49ers. He's got a little bit of everything, and he is showing it off here in the first half of Monday Night Football. That's what I'm talking about finishing drives. Be able to punch it in, march the length of the field, give your bell cow the back, lock it up, and get in the end zone.
Phil Dawson with what's now a 33-yard extra point attempt. Good. Carlos Hyde for Coach Jim Tomsula with the spin. And Griffin just missed. Kaepernick was a convoy into the end zone. 7-0 Niners. Pac-12 rivals clash in an important early season test in the Coliseum. Saturday Night Football presented by Wells Fargo. Stanford against number 6 USC. Saturday 8 Eastern on ABC and streaming live on Watch ESPN. As a rookie, Cordero Patterson had kick returns of 109 and 105 yards. He won't have one here as that ball sails through the end zone. An 11-play, 93-yard drive that took almost 5 minutes San Francisco.
Frank Gore, the Niners will always remember you were great, but welcome everybody, Carlos Hyde, the new runner for the San Francisco 49ers, scoring points.
Seven 0 San Francisco. 47 seconds to go in the first half. Vikings will start from their own 20. 4 carries, 14 yards, 2 catches, 19 yards for Adrian Peterson tonight. It's a lateral to Matt Asiata. The Niners have that stacked up and he stays inbounds. 4-yard pickup.
And that's a nice play getting the ball to Matt Asiata, but where is Adrian Peterson? I mean, we're talking about a year. We've been anticipating Adrian Peterson. It's not like he's been chopped liver tonight. He hit that hole hard. He's been valuable in the pass game. Watch him finish off this play right here. If you're the Minnesota Vikings, you gotta get Peterson on the field.
Bridgewater crossing pattern to Mike Wallace. He'll go out of bounds at about the 33-yard line for a first down, a pickup of 9.
As great as Adrian Peterson is, there has always been a liability in these situations. In these third down, end-to-half situations where the back is primarily responsible for pass protection, being back there scanning the protection, taking on blitzing linebacker safeties, and then being an outlet in the pass game. So in this situation, Asiata is the correct back to have in there. But we better get a heavy dose of Adrian Peterson in the second half.
Well, he's rested. Bridgewater with time. To the midfield stripe, almost to Mike Wallace. 17-yard pickup, and now the Vikings, well, they have 3 timeouts left, but with 3 seconds to go, I doubt they'll use them all.
Yeah, and you know, you put yourself in a position here to get the Hail Mary. Typically a very low percentage play, but with what we've seen tonight, these specialty situations, these are the situations as the year goes on, you're practicing every Friday. The Hail Mary play, all your special team stuff, you're going over time and again. It wouldn't surprise me here to see a mistake by the San Francisco 49ers in this Hail Mary situation. I would have some nerves on the sideline right now if I was Jim Tomasula or Eric Mangini, the defensive coordinator.
And now Tom Sula will call timeout. And they have 3. So, you know what? I feel good that both teams will take them to the locker room.
Yeah, and they weren't in a prevent there. That was a very interesting defensive alignment.
Only 15 yards deep at most,
and
right?
they were pressed outside on the edges. Looked like they were maybe going to bring an inside pressure there, maybe get home before Teddy Bridgewater could extend his drop. Most Hail Marys have success when the quarterback's able to take his drop, climb a little bit in the pocket, and then escape and get to the edge, reset their platform, and launch that sucker in the end zone. Now we're looking at more of a prevent defense.
Prevent?
Yeah.
What do you mean a prevent defense? That's more like the Maginot line.
That's a picket fence on the goal line. Now the issue here is that Teddy's going to have a ton of time to be able to move around and allow his guys to get downfield.
7 guys at or in the end zone. And Bridgewater is going to eventually throw it. Okay, all that for that. But there's a flag.
And it's going to be a hold on the. That's what I'm saying. I'm not surprised.
Number 55 before the pass was thrown. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. An automatic first down, and we will extend for 1 more play.
I mean, it's only 5 yards, but really? It's Ahmad Brooks. And so, when he came in as a rookie, 2012, Blair Walsh was one of the, he hit 10 straight field goals from 50 or more yards. Now he has the wind at his back, but this will be 63 yards, which was the magic number, it'd still be pretty magical if this went.
I'm telling you, though, my brain's going to explode if we see these types of mistakes in the second half.
Well, no, wait a minute. Now you're going to predict he's going to kick it low, blocked. How about a return by San Francisco?
I'm almost speechless. Nothing would surprise me on this last play of the first half. And again, going back to one of the first drives of the game, if anybody watched football this weekend, which I'm sure you all did, this is not uncommon. I mean, you watch special teams mistakes, all coverage mistakes all over the place on Sunday. All kinds of ridiculous penalties. The missed tackles, the drop passes, the bad offensive line play.
Well, now we're not kicking.
And it's the same defense.
So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 7 Niners down there. There's 1 pass rusher, if you will, and a middle linebacker in case of a draw play. The dreaded 3-1-7 defense. Bridgewater to throw, complete. And unless they get a face mask, this will be the end of the first half. A first half in which the Niners scored inside the 2-minute warning. They have over 200 yards of offense. They started the game with a good drive. They ended the half with a good drive. And here, Levi's Stadium, 7-0 San Francisco. Trey Wingo and Jaws in the studio. Good evening / good morning, fellas. Niners started with a good drive. An interesting sandwich between the other piece of bread, which was a touchdown by Carlos Hyde in the final minute of the first half. San Francisco leads Minnesota 7-0. Chris Berman, Trent Dilfer, Lindsey Zarniak on the field with us. So Adrian Peterson. 4 rushes, not very much. 2 other receptions. 1 was a nice reception, but pretty quiet.
It's tough. Vikings only had 24 plays offensively. They're 0-5 on third down. I've been saying this for years since I started doing TV. You want your runner to run the ball more? Convert some third downs. It's up to the passer. Adrian Peterson's lack of productivity is on Teddy Bridgewater and this offensive line because they can't do anything in the passing game right now.
So essentially Peterson thus far, I hate to do it, has been Dr. Jekyll. But Mr. Hyde, with a touchdown and 83 yards running, very impressive.
I like how you did that right there.
Had to.
Like I said earlier, Frank Gore, one of the greatest players the 49ers ever had. But he's gone. And this is the dude, Carlos Hyde. Watch his head. You get that ball 7 yards deep in the pistol. Your head is still. You're seeing all these creases. He showed the burst. And this right here is special. To be able to go vertical like that, put your right foot in the ground, spin, accelerate to the opposite pylon. Carlos Hyde established himself as a big-time back for the Niners.
So the Vikings will receive. There he is, Carlos Hyde. Second-year man, so impressive thus far in the first half. Vikings to receive. And they will watch another long kickoff. Sail. Cordero Patterson will look up through the upright. So the Vikings will start at the 20-yard line. Lindsey Zarniak.
Boomer just had a chance to talk to Jim Tomsula coming out of the locker room. He gave me an update on Reggie Bush, said it's a calf injury. He is out the rest of the game. Of course, I'll pass along more info if I learn it. As for his team, he said there was only one message, and that message is penalties. You have to stop the penalties. As for Mike Zimmer, he said, my team played terrible. He said it's actually a very unusual looking group that I saw on the field, so clearly a lot of work to do on the Vikings end.
Well, nothing unusual about Adrian Peterson there, spinning, churning, picking up about 8 yards on the play. Antoine Bethea on the tackle.
Nice movement on the right side and the left side. Caves down the defense in front of the Niners, allowing Adrian Peterson to cut back, and there's that nasty spin move. And then he finishes off with some violence. I guarantee you, Norv Turner, the offensive coordinator for the Vikings, got in halftime and said, we're going to give 28 the rock, and you guys are going to block, and that's who's going to take us home.
And he gets the rock. Don't quite know if he got the fan right around the first down mark. We'll wait for the spot.
Hit at the line of scrimmage by
First down. Just hit the line at the 30.
Nice job by the Niners staying up those offensive lines, but just enough. Ooh, that's a generous spot.
Here come the Niners on a blitz. Bridgewater can't escape. And that's Bethea, Antoine Bethea, the strong safety that came through the 3rd sack of the night for the new-look defense with many new players of defensive coordinator Eric Mangini and head coach Jim Tomsula.
Mangini dials up and watches. They ignite Bowman in the middle as a blitzer right here. But he picks the guard, leaving a clean run for Antoine Bethea to get home to Teddy Bridgewater. Great call by defense coordinator Eric Mangini. And Navarro Bowman, understanding his job was not to get home there. His job was to pick the guard, go inside, and allow Bethea to get home.
10-yard loss, so 2nd and 20 Vikings. Bridgewater. Nobody open. Now throws, and it's complete to Kyle Rudolph. Injured a lot of the last 2 years for a 19-yard pickup, sure-handed, with all of the talk of Peterson back in year 2 of Bridgewater and Mike Wallace. He is a big, quote, pickup as well.
He is, and this drop 8 coverage has been really successful for the Niners so far in this game, but what it does is it allows the quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater, to really extend the play. That was probably a 6-7 second play, and you give a defense, an offense that much time, receivers are going to get open in the back half.
So a sack, but a 19-yard pickup makes it 3rd and 1. Oh, they don't give it to Peterson. Bridgewater sliding has the first down.
It is close, though, because
wait a minute,
slid.
he may not. No, it's where the knee hit, yes? Oh, he slid too early. He could have gone 2 more yards. I thought he slid a couple of yards early. It was really
tough.
He may not have it. Not with this spot.
We got to see where the ball ends up. First of all, Teddy Bridgewater, nice play fake. Fakes out the defense. Aaron Lynch coming down the edge. Nice job by Teddy right there.
Ooh.
But I think that's one you got to go head first if you're Teddy Bridgewater.
Ooh. He got it.
Whew.
He made it by that much. I didn't think he got there.
That's one, when you're watching the film with your teammates on Monday, you are so thankful you got it by half an inch.
So on a 2nd and 20, the bottom line is they get a first down. 1st and 10 at the 40. Changing the play, Bridgewater. Peterson. Quick play. Burrowing for close to 5. So now we're seeing the MVP a little bit of 2012. Only Fran Tarkenton and Alan Page were other Vikings that won the NFL MVP award. And that was his 2,000-plus yard season. It helped make the playoffs for the Vikings that year. Peterson's been in the playoffs 3 times. 08, 09, 12. 3 different quarterbacks. One of them Brett Favre in 09. Can Bridgewater and Peterson get the Vikings back to the postseason? Can they get in the end zone or not? 2nd and 5. Maybe 1. Stout middle of the Niner defense, which would be the big man, Ian Williams, who they're very high on, the nose tackle.
And a really nice job. The Vikings caught the Niners in a thin box. That's a split safety look. The Vikings had the numbers advantage there, but Ian Williams inside that big front of the 49ers, holding up the offensive line of the Vikings and stopping the running game when they were outnumbered up front.
8th play of the drive, the Minnesota's longest drive of the night. Swing, and a good tackle made on Adrian Peterson on the outside by the Niners. Kenneth Acker, good-looking corner. They're very high on Trent.
Another 3rd down where the Vikings get the ball out in the flat, downhill profile, but a Niner coming up and making a great form tackle, and other Niners following up in case he misses that tackle. Really nice discipline by the San Francisco 49ers perimeter defense there.
So Reggie Bush started the game at punt returner. Jared Heen fumbled one, did another one. This is Bruce Ellington signaling for a fair catch on the punt by Locke at the 15-yard line, a 37-yard boot. So the Niners defense stout. They will take over. Big first half for Carlos Hyde. Then he and the Niners put together another long drive. We'll be back. Chris Berman, Trent Dilfer, Lindsey Zarniak, our Monday night crew from the West Coast. Early 3rd quarter, Carlos Hyde touchdown. Late 2nd quarter, it's the only score. 7-0 San Francisco. 49ers, much swirling around them. Trent, doom and gloom in the Bay Area. They're not inside their building. Certainly their defense has come to play tonight, pitching a shutout for the first 30 minutes. First drive of the second half. And the workhorse, Carlos Hyde, picks up about 4. Well, Trent mentioned that Frank Gore, the all-time leading rusher, every year the leading rusher in his 10 years here, offensively gone with the Indianapolis Colts. Anthony Davis, kind of a surprise retirement. Pro Bowl tackle. Mike Upati, another number 1 pick at guard, signed with Arizona. He's hurt. Those are 3 notable names from offense. Gone. Colin Kaepernick, a quick throw to number 89, or 88, Garrett Selleck. I keep looking for McDonald. He's playing fullback some, and that's Selleck. Defense, in case you're keeping score and forgot, and it is late in the East. Great Patrick Willis, retired at linebacker. Justin Smith, warhorse in the true sense of the word, retired. Alden Smith, too many transgressions, signed with the Raiders, played yesterday. And the surprise leading tackler last year, Chris Borland, retired. Obviously, they lost others. But that's a big bunch of names to lose. But Colin Kaepernick and the 49ers say, we don't care. We got a new head coach in Jim Tomsula. Jim Harbaugh gone to Michigan. We got new coordinators, and we're picking up first down.
And boom, I live here. And you would have thought the 49ers' entire organization just exploded this offseason. I mean, doom and gloom is an understatement. I think what people forgot was you still have Eric Reed and Navarro Bowman and Ahmad Brooks and Glenn Dorsey and Carlos Hyde and Vernon Davis and Joe Staley. There's teams in this league that would die to have this San Francisco 49ers roster. Then you go scour the globe and you find this Jared Hyde kid who's a world-class athlete, an elite athlete, 2-time player of the year in the National Rugby League in Australia. Yeah, he starts off weak, and now he with the drop punt, but now he clips off 9. I think the San Francisco 49ers organization is excited about who they have on the roster. They're not worried about who they don't. And you see, besides special teams and penalties tonight, an offense that looks a lot more functional than last year's.
Kaepernick on 2nd and 1. Fired. Anquan Bolden. First down in the Vikings territory. 15-yard completion to Bolden, who has 12 straight years of 50 or more receptions.
And let me geek out. Colin Kaepernick. Everybody calls him a runner. That's 3 hitches, passing profile, climbing in the pocket, eyes going from the right side of the field back to the in cut on the left. That is massive improvement by Colin Kaepernick right there.
1st and 10, Viking 45. The Vikings have that one sniffed out pretty well, a 1-yard pickup for Carlos Hyde. 8 straight completions, Kaepernick, Trent.
Yep, and let's go back to Kaepernick on the last play. This is why I'm excited. Look at his eyes, ladies and gentlemen. Progressions. 1 to the right. Vertical climb, eyes back to the left. That is number 3 or 4 in his progression. That's a backside roll 4 after working a front side combination that wasn't there. That shows massive growth by Colin Kaepernick. When I was at their practices, I saw many examples of how he's developing into a better pocket passer.
And a run could have picked up 4 yards and a first down. He chose a bigger play. Rolling, throwing, completing is Kaepernick again, and that is McDonald for 5.
And then I love what Jeep Christoph, his coordinator, is doing. He's not going to call 15 pocket drop back passes for Colin Kaepernick. This is the 7th time they've moved the launch point for Colin, allowing him to get on the edge, high percentage throws, flat or second level crossers. So you're not going to ask Colin Kaepernick to be Peyton Manning and Tom Brady and live for 25 snaps in that pocket. Just the 6 to 10 that you do them well, and then on early downs we'll escape, move the launch point, and get some easy offense.
3rd and 4, Niners. Kaepernick. Now he'll run. Now he'll slide. Flag. And they may call a hold downfield, but before we find out, a 12-yard run by Kaepernick.
Before the quarterback left the pocket, holding defense number 23. Wow. It's a 5-yard penalty that's added on to the end of the run. First down.
So the Niners moving here on their last drive of the half and their first drive of this half.
Boom, check it out. 3rd down, Colin Kaepernick. Watch his eyes, everybody. Eyes left. He's in the pocket. Left hip downfield. scanning through progression, still trying to be a passer, but you can't turn down free offense when you're a Ferrari, so he goes and clips off 15.
First down. Kaepernick firing behind and nailed. Sendejo with a tough hit.
And I'll tell you what, now this is going to be very quarterback-centric analysis, but you got to trust me on this. That is actually a good throw by Colin Kaepernick. You're working the seams. There's a safety bearing down on your seam runner. You are trying to throw this back shoulder to stop him to avoid Sendejo being able to break up the ball. That's a good incompletion, a well-located ball by Kaepernick.
2nd and 10 at the 22. 7-0 Niner. High. Flat.
Oh, big hold on the perimeter.
And a tackle by Gerald Hodges, 4th round pick in 2013 of the Vikings from Penn State. And just like in the first quarter when they got to about this spot, Trent. Well, let's see. Maybe the other way. Huh? Let's see.
Illegal hands, defense.
Yeah.
Wow.
Number 98.
We sensed it was San
Illegal
Francisco,
hands to
but
the face. 5-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
Linval Joseph, the one-time New York Giants Super Bowl ring with them. And to the chagrin of Mike Zimmer, the drive moves forward.
I am not sure what they saw there. Ooh, that's a rough call for the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings had the missed pass interference call in the end zone, which was a massive miss by the refs. And now they gift the 49ers that penalty there. Not only are the Vikings playing poorly, they're having some tough breaks by the refs as well.
Carlos Hyde on first down is drilled down. Everson Griffin on those on the stop, but he picks up 5. Hodges in there.
So before we put Carlos Hyde in the Hall of Fame, one, you can't ever ignore the bigs. Those offensive linemen. I mean, all these guys wore T-shirts in the pool as kids, and now they get to wear these sleek black uniforms, look 15 pounds lighter. And Chris Forrester, the offensive line coach, the best, if not one of the best zone scheme run guys in the NFL, and Tony Sperano, tight ends coach, they have a lot of intellectual property on that coaching staff to get this offensive front playing the way they are.
Kaepernick forever with the ball, then run out of bounds about the 11. So 3rd down Niners. What are we looking for here? 3rd and 5. Kind of a long 5.
So one of the things Jeep Chris, the offensive coordinators, want to do is bring the West Coast offense back to the West Coast. Maybe last year the plays were called West Coast. They didn't have the quick piercing throws, the crossing routes, the movement by an offense in the passing game that he wants. I look for a quick striking throw here, maybe short of the change, trusting the receiver then to go run for the first down after the catch. We'll have to wait, I guess.
They weren't sure what to throw either. And it goes with the territory tonight. 7-0 Niners. Niners knocking, perhaps. Niners, big 3rd down play here. 3rd and 5 at the 11. And again, Trent, it's probably not a run to Hyde. Probably a little long. Who are you looking at? Bolden?
I think this is when you have an Aaron Rodgers, a Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, you're just expecting a quick piercing throw, quick decision, get the ball to a skill position guy now.
Kaepernick throwing, incomplete.
And that's what I was getting to. That's exactly the call. Quick decision, but a poor throw. And this is one more element of development that Colin Kaepernick has to make. It's not just all the pocket stuff I was talking about. He makes the right read. His eyes are in the right place. His timing's right. But his footwork gets messed up. The elongated motion is going to lead to inconsistencies as a passer. We've seen a lot of good from Colin Kaepernick. But those are the little things that the true surgeons at quarterback in the National Football League do consistently. Colin needs to get there.
Phil Dawson with a 30-yard field goal attempt. It's good. And so the 49ers take a 10-0 lead on a 14-play, 73-yard drive.
So boom, watch his head. His head goes up. Ball goes down. If you love quarterback and you want to get better, you're young, don't go up because the ball's going down, just like Caps did.
ESPN's Monday Night Football brought to you by Lexus and their pursuit of perfection. By Gillette. One Pro Glide refill up to 1 month of comfortable shaves. And NFL Game Pass. Replay every NFL game all season. Start your free trial at NFL.com/Game Pass. So the youngster, the rookie, punter also, Bradley Pinion. Kicking with the win for Daryl Patterson, who has 200-plus kickoff returns in his career. Won't have one here. Niners have him hemmed in nicely and tackled at the 15-yard line. Shane Skoll, 56, made the tackle. 10-0 Niners. Will be back.
Hey, boom. I think everybody that's surprised Adrian Peterson hasn't clipped off a 50-yarder and banged his head on the goalpost doesn't understand. In his 3 games against San Francisco 49ers, the Niners have been his Achilles heel. Now, what's interesting about that is the mastermind of those 3 games that we showed you, Jim Tomsula, when he was the defensive line coach in charge of the front 7, now the head coach. They have a real idea of how to slow down Adrian Peterson.
Longest run tonight, 9 yards. Vikings begin on the 15. Fake to Peterson. It is complete to Kyle Rudolph. So Bridgewater to Rudolph. And a nice start of this drive of a 19-yard pickup, Minnesota.
Now watch this. I don't know if I caught this right. This is college football. That's a run option pass. That's what Baylor does. That's a run play that he can pull and throw.
Peterson tackled for maybe no gain, maybe a yard loss. Glenn Dorsey, once upon a time a #1 pick of Kansas City, in there on the stop. Dorsey, Ian Williams, Quentin Dial, the new front for the 49ers.
Hey, for you college football fans, you got to be jacked up. It's making it to Sunday. This is Baylor's offense. This is Texas Tech. That's West Virginia. That's a run play that they're supposed to hand off, and Teddy can pull and throw the look route. He just got to get out before those offensive linemen get too far downfield. Interesting wrinkle by the Vikings.
2nd and 10, Bridgewater. And that's complete to Mike Wallace for a first down, a pickup of about 12. About the 46-yard line. Eric Reed on the coverage.
And I like what Norv Turner's done on this drive so far. He went a little college offense, get Teddy going, and then a big boy throw across the middle to Mike Wallace.
This is to Peterson. The Niners have him snuffed up there as well. Picked up maybe a yard. Norv Turner, one of the great offensive minds in football. Of course, a head coach a lot of places, including most recently San Diego. He was a head coach at Washington where they won a division title. People forget that. And an injury. Head coach at Oakland. 4 division titles, Norv. And that's Navarro Bowman. And we'll see the play. Well, we'll check on him when we return. We're back. Navarro Bowman looks all right. Got to sit out this play. 2nd down, Minnesota, at about 9. Bridgewater the fake. The fire. The completion to Charles Johnson. It's a first down. 18-yard pickup. Charles Johnson, one of those guys that Norv Turner liked in Cleveland, and they got him here, and they have high hopes for him.
And that was a textbook route by Charles Johnson. Norv Turner's run more of these speed in cuts than anybody in football. He loves how Charles Johnson runs them, and Teddy layers it in there, firm with an arc. Just how Coach Turner preaches every single time that ball is thrown.
8 straight completions. Now Bridgewater starting to warm up. Little dump off to Mike Wallace, the speedster. That's not normally where you look for him, but it's a short pickup. By the way, Navarro Bowman is back in. He's fine. Might sound like Frankie Valli for a few plays, but he'll be okay.
I love what the Vikings are doing right here. We talked about it. Adrian Peterson wasn't getting enough touches because they weren't moving the chains. There was no rhythm in the passing game. Now you've created some air in that defense. Norv Turner got Teddy Bridgewater in a rhythm. Now is where you trust the bell cow. Now is where Adrian Peterson brings you home and lets you finish this drive.
And that's the classic 7-yard deep. But they fake it to him. Bridgewater will run and slide and get a first down. Minnesota on the move inside the 25, a 10-yard scamper for the second-year quarterback from Louisville.
And watch Adrian Peterson here. You want to be a great back, a complete back, you also have to be, you have the help in the passing game right there. Stone and Navarro Bowman on the blitz right there, creating a seam for Teddy Bridgewater to get up in the pocket and get some free yards.
10-0 San Francisco, Minnesota on a nice march. Fake again, little flip to Wallace. And a very quick tackle made by Kenneth Acker. A 4-yard pickup. And that should be the end of the third quarter. And a night in which Charles Haley got his Hall of Fame ring, and Hall of Famers like Joe Montana and Steve Young and Jerry Rice and Ronnie Lott were here. The Niners lead at 10-0 going to the fourth. Back here at Levi's Stadium after the game, stick around for SVP on SportsCenter. Scott Van Pelt, new show, breaks down tonight's games and wraps up an exciting week 1 of NFL action at Scott's SportsCenter after the game.
That's some great music on that show too, bro.
A little different.
Yeah.
Vikings, first time in the red zone. They're at the 19. They trail 10-0. Teddy Bridgewater completed 10 in a row here. The Vikings get to pay dirt. Here's Peterson with that classic 7-yard deep lineup with 3 wides to start the fourth quarter. Rolling is Bridgewater. And throwing under duress, incomplete. They sent Peterson out to the right flat. Boy, there was good coverage there because I think that was the intended play.
No, I like that play call. The Niners just defended it perfectly. You're trying to sneak the tailback out in the flat after a run fake. A lot of times the tailback isn't accounted for in play action, especially in the flat. But Antoine Bethea shows you why he's a 3-time Pro Bowler. Gloves it right there. And then Teddy does a nice job getting rid of the ball, not taking a negative play, giving him a third and manageable here down in the red zone.
Here comes the crowd on 3rd and 6 from the 19. Bridgewater to the end zone, but double coverage and no shot for that one for Jarius Wright. So this Niner defense has pitched a shutout thus far. Holds. Jaworski Tart, Tremaine Brock on the double coverage. And now Blair Walsh missed one. Will try from 37. Jeff Locke to hold. Kevin McDermott to snap. Kick is up. Good. To the Vikings. It takes them 45 and a half minutes, but they're on the board. 10-3 49ers. We'll be back. ESPN's Monday Night Football brought to you by ESPNFanshop.com. Powered by Dick's Sporting Goods. Covered tonight from Spider Cam is brought to you by DirecTV. If you're watching in the East, a good morning to you. If you're watching in the Central Time Zone, it's almost time for your midnight snack. If you're in the Mountain in the West, Glad you could be with us. Chris Berman, Trent Dilfer, Lindsey Zarniak, and of course you're in Hawaii. Happy dinner. Long kick from Blair Walsh. There's a field goal from about 80 yards. And so the Niners leading 10-3 come trotting out.
Boom, Colin Kaepernick attacked this offseason. He went down to Arizona, worked 40 different times with Dennis Guile, a quarterback trainer, working on pocket mechanics, maintaining his passing posture, keeping his base wide, keeping two hands on the ball, working through progressions. You are seeing it in front of your eyes, growth by a young quarterback into a pocket passer. Steve Logan, his quarterback coach now at the Niners, has built upon that even more. They're excited about the growth Kaepernick's made.
So the Niners begin, and Carlos Hyde has taken shots and then moved to the outside. It's he doesn't go down very quickly, and it picks up 4. Harrison Smith, Robert Blanton, safeties, both from Notre Dame, make the stop.
Look at him in contact. It's his own guy right there, but he maintains his balance. His feet keep moving. His shoulder pads are facing downhill. Right there, look at his feet. See how they're wide, see how they're moving? Gives him the ability to get back outside and lower the hat and get some extra yards. Oh.
Again, Hyde, look at this. Spilled after he picks up a first down on a gain of 7. Terrence Newman, the veteran, 37 years young on the corner. Been with Mike Zimmer for a long time.
Boom, I know you love this. There's people in fantasy right now trying to trade for Carlos Hyde because it cuts like that. He starts off left, same lateral cut back to the right, and it's not hopping, he's accelerating. Now he wants to get those pads downhill, and he's looking for contact.
105 yards for Hyde thus far.
I'll set your lineup for you, Boom.
Well, I thought fantasy after midnight took a break. Kaepernick on first down. Heaves it out of bounds. Here we are. We know the Vikings defense. I know they've given up 100. They've only given up 10 points. And that's, the yards, right? Last year they gave up, 2 years ago, the most points in football. And it was a geometric improvement last year for the Vikings in the points allowed department. They've only allowed 10.
It's a great point, Boom. Yards are so overrated on defense. It's about points, and Zimmer's always done a great job of reducing points.
And we give Minnesota's defense an attaboy. That's Anthony Barr, someone that they are, he was just outstanding as a rookie last year before he got hurt in December. The Butkus, Lombardi, and Bednarik award finalist when he was at UCLA. 9th overall pick a year ago. He's good.
You know what all that equals? War Daddy. Anthony Barr has been one of the huge bright spots for the Minnesota Vikings tonight. Been a tackle machine and a guy that creates so many issues because of his speed, his length, his physicality, and showing it off tonight on Monday Night Football.
3rd and 14. And Kaepernick throws complete to Vernon Davis. What a big completion. Niners, first down.
Okay, we're not going to turn this entire telecast into quarterback training 101. I wish I made more plays like this with Colin Kaepernick. Everybody in the world thought he was going to run here. Look at his eyes, though. People say you can't train instincts. You can train instincts. You work hard enough at certain things. Colin Kaepernick last year would have been gone there. Instead, eyes downfield, able to make the tight throw to Vernon Davis, move the chains in a tough situation.
20-yard pickup, first down Niners. Hyde to the left. Hyde to Viking territory. Hyde with a big gain before he spun down at the 35-yard line. Alex Boone with a big block from left guard. 18-yard pickup. That's another 49er first down.
And let's celebrate some big boys. Look at the left side right here. Look at that physicality. Look and get on the edge. Boone just manhandling Hodges right there, getting the soft edge, allowing Hyde again to put the foot in the ground, get the clean edge, and then finish off his run. The big boys for the Niners are playing rough.
And Hyde, flag. This time he's stacked up right around the line of scrimmage.
I think fair to say it's going to be a hold on Vernon right here. Vernon Davis, 85.
Holding, offense, number 65. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Or 65.
Yeah, but
I think they both had one there. I saw a lot of jersey being torn.
65, Jordan Devey, just acquired from New England in the preseason. Right guard.
Yep, he got more jersey. Discipline. Great drives being stalled by these penalties.
1st and 10 at the 20 at their own, at the Minnesota 45. Jared Hayne couldn't waltz Matilda very far on that play. So the Aussie rugby player, what a great story. Tackled after no gain, so 2nd and 20 for the Niners. They lead it 10-3, under 11 minutes to go. First Monday night game in the new yard. Last year all Sunday games. And Tom Sula's Niners trying to gut one out. Kaepernick to Davis. And that's a big pickup before Robert Blanton knocks him down. And of the 20 yards they needed, they got 19 of them, Trent.
And watch this play. Colin Kaepernick. Watch the tempo of the ball. This guy's been known for fastballs. Now with his refined mechanics, that ball has arc to it. It's still firm. It doesn't make the receiver wait for it, but it's able to get up and down. You are seeing on display Colin Kaepernick's intense attacking of the offseason coming to fruition in the game.
3rd and 1. He's going to throw it and complete it for a first down to Anquan Bolden. So 3rd and 1, you figure Hyde has a 100-yard game. Of course he's going to carry it.
Coach Gruden got done calling the early game, and he's watching this game because he's a football junkie, and he is fired up because you know what this is? This is Spider 2 snag. Not wide banana, the one he likes, but that's Spider 2 snag, and he knows what I'm talking about, but using Anquan Bolden as the fullback.
Hyde snags another touchdown. Boy, do they mix it up nicely on that drive.
Oh, mixed up and playing fast. They're getting up and snapping the ball. The Vikings are really, look at that movement. Those big guys for the Vikings are on skates. Niners moving them. Carlos Hyde deep enough vision. He didn't have to do a whole lot there because the Vikings are worn out. That is the price of tempo. The Niners have committed to this new age style of high tempo offense. They are getting up, snapping the ball, keeping the defense on their heels, converting big passes so that when you turn around and hand the ball off, you get those defensive players on skates, and there are gaping holes out there to run through.
136 yards now rushing for Carlos Hyde. A 17-yard touchdown, his 2nd of the night, a 10-play, 80-yard drive. And now the extra point attempt. Here's the smile. 21 for 136. Hello. With a Peterson-like average of 6.5 on most nights. Phil Dawson with the extra point. Good. Carlos Hyde, 2nd-round pick a year ago. Naples, Florida. 3,000-yard back at Ohio State. He's the bell cow now for San Francisco, who leads it 17-3. 2-touchdown lead, San Francisco here at the Big Bell Bottom. Bradley Pinion, the rookie, will kick it off. And the Vikings elect to take the touchback. And so 2 touchdowns and a huge night for Carlos Hyde. Trent, have the Niners in the driver's seat at the moment.
Carlos Hyde is going to be a rock star in this league. The San Francisco 49ers are no longer saying, who don't we have? They're saying, look who we do have, Carlos Hyde.
Back at Levi Stadium, 17-3 Niners. Teddy Bridgewater and the Vikings have 9.5 minutes with which to do something. Here comes the secondary blitz, and it's a quick dump off to Kyle Rudolph for about 4. Niners defense has allowed 3 points.
Everybody talked about gloom and doom. Niners defense. Again, they forgot who they do have. Relentless players, young players, strong players, long players. And they got a guy coaching them named Eric Mangini, who is one of the best defensive minds in all of football, and he is dialing them up tonight.
Bridgewater, a little swing pass. One miss. And McKinnon does a good job. He's looked good when he's been in there tonight. Jerick McKinnon, a 10-yard pickup and a Viking first down.
You know, talking about Eric Mangini, boom, he was great with us at ESPN.
Couple years.
I would turn on Mondays and he'd be breaking down games. I learned more ball watching him do TV than I did when I was playing at times. But Eric would sit by me and you in the war room. Weasel, me, you, Tim, Tommy, we sit there and talk ball, and Eric said, when I come back, I'm going to do a better job because I'm going to know more about offense. And we talked about offensive schemes. He picked everybody's brain.
And speaking of picks, the Niners have one. To the 40. With a block. Look out. Tremaine Brock. He picked people's brains, and he picked Teddy Bridgewater. What a night for the Niners all the way around. A 26-yard return. And San Francisco rolling.
Anybody thought that the Niners D was dead? You were wrong. Edge pressure and inside pressure. The seam was there. That interior push by the Niners front clogged Teddy's vision. Ball goes high, intercepted.
Tremaine Brock hurt most of last year. 5 interceptions 2 years ago. We've given out plaudits. We could tell Eric Mangini stories forever, how high we are on him. How about Trent Baalke? So behind the scenes, he's the GM. With all of their great players, you have to draft, and all of a sudden, they're all playing. And they're all contributing tonight. And the Niners put the nail in. Carlos Hyde will be the one to do it. Another first down, and we went 16 games. This is the high rushing mark of every player in the league. Week 1, 14-yard pickup, and Carlos Hyde with a $149.
Look at the knockback right there. Oh, you know I get fired up, Boom, when we're talking about knockback football. You talked about Baalke. He built this program. He learned from Parcells. I want big, strong, thick, physical athletes that are going to play knockback football, control the line of scrimmage, and a bell cow back like Carlos Hyde who can finish off runs. He's got to love, as a general manager, what he's seeing. Nice play by Kaepernick, knocking it down.
Ball tipped, and the very alert, as you described it, Trent, getting double pay with play-by-play for yourself tonight. Kaepernick knocking it down.
I get too excited when I see those gashing runs and big black jerseys just piling on white jerseys. Interesting, though, the 49ers have stayed out of third down. They're winning this game offensively on first down, averaging almost 7 yards a play on first down. And it's not just all run. A lot of those have been play-action pass where Cap has got on the perimeter and got the ball quick to his skill guys. Beautiful plan by Jeep Chris. Great execution by the Niners offense.
But give the Hyde, running left again. This time the Vikings have it smelled. Picked up 1. Tick, tick, tick. Under 7.5 to go.
Carlos Hyde, going down by number 99, Daniel Hunter.
Well, you would have got long odds on 151 yards versus 31, wouldn't you? Hyde versus Peterson? Long odds tonight. 49ers. Gloom and doom, not tonight. Kaepernick, swing, Hyde. Down inside the 5, close to the 5-yard line of the 7. And big Eric Piers, the right tackle, was out front there.
I love this play call by Jeep Chris. This is right out of the New Orleans Saints playbook. Look at the crack down by the perimeter receiver. A quick screen, release the tackle. Piers on the edge. I think Carlos Hyde he was trying to keep that right foot in bounds, get the first down. Now, I like this call. There's a lot of people saying, hey, go for it.
Go.
You're moving the ball. You're pounding them. You take this thing to 20-3, and it is an uphill climb. for the Minnesota Vikings against this San Francisco 49ers defense.
40 years young Phil Dawson, only Adam Vinatieri in the league, older. Dawson, 25. Good.
Old Craybeer.
So the 49ers use the interception and tack on a field goal. They're in control, 20-3. We'll be back. Chris Berman, Trent Dilfer, Lindsey Zarniak. Glad you could be with us. 20-3 San Francisco. Underdog tonight, as was Atlanta. Monday night at home. And that'll be a touchback. And Teddy Bridgewater and company have got to move quickly. And they got to move 3 times. Only 3 points tonight. Now what? Obviously, the Niners are looking for Mike Wallace on a fly. We know that, right?
Yeah, Bridgewater had warmed up there. He completed a bunch of balls in a row and made the mistake right in the last possession with the interception. The problem was even when he got going, they couldn't finish off the drives with the run game. Now you're in a position where you're in a must-pass situation. You have a right side of your offensive line that has been depleted by injury, as well as your center. This is tough sledding for this Minnesota Vikings team to be in these must-pass, come-from-behind situations.
First down for Bridgewater and the Vikings. Charles Johnson, complete, about 9.
Good drive starter there, Boom. I think one thing we learned, not just yesterday's football, but the last couple of years, is these young quarterbacks are very comfortable in a hurry-up environment. This isn't 15 years ago where 2-minute offense was odd. These guys grow up in these high-speed offenses, and they are comfortable in this hurry-up tempo.
Completed to Kyle Rudolph for a first down of 10-yard pickup. First and 10, Minnesota at the 39. San Francisco will let them churn up 8 and 10-yard plays. They'll be happy with that, with a 3-score lead.
They will, but if you're Teddy Bridgewater and Norv Turner, you got to get the ball out quick, because they know how weak they're on the right side of the offensive line. So these quick passes are going to have to move the ball.
Oh, a nice shovel to Asiata. Really good-looking play, although it looked like at first big trouble for Bridgewater.
Yeah, and this is great awareness by Teddy Bridgewater. He's a little slow getting up, but it looks like he's going to be all right. As he climbs in the pocket, the only reason he knows Matt Asiata is right there is because he knows every element of this play. So as it wasn't open and right, he got his eyes back left, looking for his sack beater, dump off, and he gets it to him with a little shovel pass. That turns into a nice chunk game.
Like a John Stockton assist.
Oh, nice.
That's for Tim Corrigan, that's all. The producer. Bridgewater, after that 21-yard play, will lose some as the Niners snow him under. Navarro Bowman, and what a return for him. You know, on a Monday night, the lights, his first game since the 2013 NFC title game.
Yeah, but Eric Mangini's not going to sit back and let him dink and dunk. He brings double-edge pressure and ignites Bowman on a late delayed blitz right there to get home. Nice call by Eric Mangini. Nice execution by this 49ers defense.
4 sacks tonight, Trent, by the Niners. Second and a whole bunch. Reorganized, snap, swing. Cordero Patterson, that's not going much. We should mention that the last game at Candlestick, the final points were scored by Navarro Bowman on an 89-yard pick of Matt Ryan. Tonight, he was so excited to see, can I make it bookend big Monday night performances in my home park? He has.
Yes, he has. I think he's put an exclamation point on his return.
Illegal substitution. Offense number 11 substituted but never got into the numbers. That penalty is declined. Brings up third down.
Well, we talked about it and we were here for the final game at Candlestick. Navarro Bowman never looked back. He was so excited to even talk about it a year and a half later, Trent. The last regular season game at Candlestick on Monday night was a great moment for San Francisco. And now think, He was the young guy, watching Patrick Willis make the calls. He says, it's my turn now. He's making the calls, he's making the plays, and the Niners lead 20-3. Third down, dump off. Asiata, 3 Niners are there. Hit first by Navarro Bowman. Surprise, the 7-yard pickup.
Exactly, you talked about him roaming the middle. He shows that he's going to be the 4th rusher. Instead, he drops back as the 8th zone dropper. Now his eyes are looking through to the quarterback, keeping everything underneath him, and going up and make a nice tackle to make this a 4th and very long for the Vikings.
Got to pick up 8. 3 minutes left. 20-3 Niners. Look out. Goodbye. Aaron Lynch. Niners defense. Hello.
Boom, Aaron Lynch, great play, talked about it early. A war daddy sheds off the cut block, doesn't stop, gets Teddy Bridgewater, brings him down, and ends the drive.
We're back at Levi's Stadium. Next week, well, they had this game at the end of the 68 season. It was 16-7 Jets. It's a few years later, but it's our Monday night game at 8:15 Eastern. Jets Colts started by Monday Night Countdown. And now the Niners trying to churn it home, and their defense has been about as big a story as Carlos Hyde had in the trench.
Check this out, Boomer. To Teddy Bridgewater, those are terrible circles, but you get what I'm looking at. That looks like one high, single high defense. At the snap, it goes to 2-man. Teddy's looking left for a single high beater. It turns into a different coverage, allows Aaron Lynch now to get off the cut block because they're expecting a quick throw, allows him to get home. Eric Mangini, San Francisco 49ers defense, dialing it up right and executing a disguise on 4th and long to perfection.
They will take the play clock down as much as they can. With just about 2:10 to go in the game. And why wouldn't Carlos Hyde pick up a first down and another impressive run? And we have reached a 2-minute warning here at the Big Bell Bottom, where the bell has been rung by your grandson's 49ers. Two-minute warning, the Niners all over the Vikings 20-3, and Eric Mangini, now that looks like a man who was a head coach. The game looks completely in hand. You're not smiling yet, but he really is inside, isn't he?
He is, but he also understands this is a long haul, and they're young. Now they got some really, really good players on defense, and they played really well tonight. But because of his wisdom in this league, and he's got quite the pedigree, he's looking at this thing from 30,000 feet saying, okay, how can we get better? Because we're in a division with some really good offenses, and I go against great defensive coordinators every week.
Carlos Hyde. The Niners are close to 400 yards in total offense. By the way, the division in which everybody won but Seattle. Interesting.
2nd and 5 at the 31-yard line.
Boom, I'm really impressed, and I think everybody in the Bay Area, understandably so, was so concerned, because when you lose players like Justice Smith, Alden Smith, Patrick Willis, Frank Gore, we're talking fire breathers. We're talking guys that change the landscape of every game they play in. But through that narrative, what was forgotten is what you talked about earlier. Trent Baalke, Jed York, the owner, this coaching staff has been building for a long time for sustainable success, and they believe in developing players, getting the most out of them, and you have to turn over your roster in today's football, and they've done a nice job so far. Good start for them.
And you know what this win will mean for Jim Tomsula? We can put this graphic up, and it remains true that in the history, the storied history of the San Francisco 49ers, the best winning percentage is owned, about to be 2-0, 1,000. Better than George Seifert, better than Jim Harbaugh, better than Bill Walsh. And if he goes, he could be up there for quite a while if he goes just 2-1 out of the gates. It's just one of those, he says, you're not going to use that, are you? I said, I don't know. The
Well, you did.
49ers, what a debut for them. They're going to win it 20-3. He was an interim coach at the end of 2010, hence the other win. That's a great scene. Carlos Hyde, the big star. Adrian Peterson will run another day. The clock is still theoretically counting down. But on this night, at the Big Bell Bottom, the scene of Super Bowl 50, the 49ers put that gloom and doom away with a 20-3 win over the up-and-coming, so it seems, Minnesota Vikings. Very impressive, Trent.
It was really impressive, Boom. I mean, I think, and to overcome what they overcome, they had a really nice night offensively. Carlos Hyde, the bigs were unbelievable, but they had a disaster on special teams and penalties, and they're still able to overcome them, Boom. It was awesome doing this game with you, babe.
It was fun, and a thank you to Lindsey Zarniak down on the field. 20-3 San Francisco. I'm Chris Berman for Trent Dilfer. Glad you could be with us. Week 1 in the books. Scott Van Pelt coming up on SportsCenter. Good night from the West Coast.
ESPN thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.